So today I will be covering how to create specific campaigns in our dialer. Now I know we had previous trainings over kind of just a broad view of our dialer, different tabs we have in here. But today I'm going to go over how to create specific dialers. So different examples just of what you can do in here, and then how you can also create dialer campaigns in our pipelines. So I'm going to start off in our dialer. I'm going to show you guys how to create a new campaign in here. Now, there are two ways of creating a new campaign through the dialer. You can either create a quick campaign. So a quick campaign, pretty much just coming in here and importing a file with names, phone numbers. You can see here, we also have our sample file that you can import with those names. So pretty much just having a list of names to import to have that call list. But for the most part, we recommend you guys using our dynamic campaign, because this allows you to create those call lists based off specific sources, milestones you wanted to reach out to, all your closed files. Now I'm going to start off by making an example of creating a call list for closed loans. So this will create a list of everybody that you have in your pipeline with a closed status. You can see here we can add a team member if you want a team member to make these calls for you or to share the list. Now for source, I'm going to leave that blank. Status, I'm going to choose close. Now I'm going to leave the milestone blank because I want to have this as broad as possible. So it's pulling up just anybody with a closed status. Closing date and date of birth, I'm going to leave blank. I'm not going to have any phone scripts. So I'm just going to put, I'm just going to leave that blank. For dialing set, I'm going to put dial mode. Live answer set, I'm going to put our default live answer mode. For this example, I'm going to do pause and preview. So what that will allow me to do is to have a moment to breathe after each call. So it's not initiating the call right after another. It'll allow you to initiate that next call. So I'm going to create that list. So it would then pull up a list of everybody with that closed status. Now I don't have anybody in the pipeline right now that's closed, so it's not showing anybody, but if there were, it would have a name in here, and then you'll be able to begin that call. I'm going to move over to another list so I can show you that we've made a list already in here for VIP partners. So you would be able to select everybody in here and initiate that call once you press begin. Close out. Now you can also create call lists. So I know a lot of calls I know you guys like to make are pre-approved and looking. So that is something you can do in here as well. So you'd come in here and create the title. So pre-approved and looking. Change status to, you can also just type out the status and it will show up. The pre-approved. Dial mode, live answer mode. For this one, I'll just do power for the dial mode, and then preview time. That'll allow me to add seconds between each call, just to give you, so say you want to make those calls, but you want to do 30 seconds between each call to allow you to have a break between each call when you initiate that. And then you press create. So now if there were people in my pipeline that had pre-approved other status, it would pull up here. So you can also come back and edit. So say I want to come into my closed loans and edit what's in here. Say instead of, I want my status to be closed, but milestone. Say you want to change the source, because there's a lot of fun things you can do in here. So say you want to reach out to everybody that's closed, but the source is Facebook. So it would kind of narrow down that list of who you want to reach out to, and then you're able to update the list you've already created. So went over just the different ways you can create campaigns through the dialer, quick campaign, and dynamic. Next thing I'm going to show you guys is how to create dial campaigns through the pipeline. Now that will allow you to filter through specific data in your pipeline, so you can make a list and kind of customize what you want to see in here in your dial list. So and you can see in our pipeline, you can also, there's so many ways you can choose as your filter. But for this example, what I'm going to do is create a list of everybody with an interest rate. Let's do greater than 6%. So for example, if you want to be able to call everybody, especially when interest rates start dropping, fingers crossed, and you want to pull up with everybody with an interest rate that's greater than, you know, a specific rate, you can create a call list with everybody with a certain interest rate. So you can be able to call everybody with that, you know, parameter. Just an easy way for you to reach out to everybody and inquire, hey, you know, refinance, you know, definitely a good way of doing that, of reaching out to everybody to inquire about refinancing. So what you would do after you choose what you want to filter out by, you would come to the section right here next to the borrower name. You'd select on that box and you come up here to actions. So one thing I learned the other day, which I want to share with you guys. So if you are in all, it won't allow you to move to a dial campaign. However, you want to make sure you are in my pipeline. And then you would be able to move it over to a move to campaign. So once I press move to campaign, after I select on somebody, you're going to click on move to campaign. You can either add it to an existing campaign or to a new campaign. And then I'm going to choose new campaign and press create. So you can see here, I'm going to come in here and type in refinance inquiry. Same options. I can also color code if I want to just kind of categorize your lists. So now that I've created that campaign, I'm going to head back to dialer. So you can see here, this refinance inquiry list is now showing that person that the one person that what we had in here that was an interest rate greater than 6%. So just another way of creating a call list. So pretty much it opens up a lot of different ways of how to create those lists, because you can see here there's so many different things to filter by. So say you want to come in here and clear this. You want to create a list of everybody. Let's see. Say you want to reach out to everybody with a certain loan to value. Maybe you want to reach out to everybody, you know, to you know, inquire about you know, the equity on their home. So you can come in here and choose the LTV and put the same with interest rate. You can do LTV greater than equal 5% or however you want to whatever you want to put in there. So same thing. Put 0% for this example. So say you put, you know, this percentage in here for LTV, you'd come in here and choose all. It'll select everybody in there, move to campaign. So you'd be able to come here and create a call lists to reach out to everybody to inquire about the equity on their home. And then you'd fill out the same way. So just another example of just call lists that you can create. So those are the different ways you can create our dialog campaigns in our platform. You can see here, I showed you how to create them in our dialer. You can go in our pipeline and filter out by specific data and create cliffs that way. So just allowing you guys to kind of stay on top of your pipeline and allowing you to choose exactly who you want to make a list for.